wouldn't it be odd if this is a place where we're standing on top of like the undead, or where the main source of that river is from, and that it was so filled with blood and whatever this is, and it just,
Do not speak
oh,
such evils into existence.
I'm just like, what if where we're standing, what if this entire desert? I mean, isn't it more? I don't remember. My brain's saying there was more sand after the fact than there was before. So what if, some the entire desert got turned into a graveyard? Well, technically it is, with a war going on directly on top of it. But it's just fueling the fire. I was just thinking,
Um, with
is
that,
there a way to find
with
out?
that thought, give me a history check.
I'm in the car, I'm driving.
I will roll a history check. Any of you guys can really roll it since you're
Okay.
sort of saying this out loud.
Let me figure out which of the
Um,
three Dobats I'm
I
working
just got
with.
here.
Oh, hi. Uh, we're rolling history checks because Lexa said, "Hey, what if that river of blood from that underground area runs right under here?"
I mean, I remember that underground area, and Bennu couldn't track it that far because he would have ended up being led extremely far away from me. So
20. Game Master privately rolled some dice.
That's my fault.
yeah, he rolled for me.
The
Yes, I
secret's lay
am.
behind it.
I am not so subtly letting him know that he accidentally rolled it as private.
There we go.
So 13, 26, 15. And you're in control of nobody, Kiari.
I'm aware.
Okay.
All right. So, with that, the those of you that got a 15 or higher, um, remember one of the history books that you guys have recently purchased mentioned in Battlefield that sort of matches this description, in where Iosis and the Citronitis has fought each other, and with Iosis coming out on top. Uh, while at the same time, Rubidel and Xanthosis fought elsewhere, er, with Xanthosis coming out on top.
Didn't in Goldport, it was said that there was like water brought outside of where water was. Like when Goldport got drowned, like went underwater, there was more water in excess, which is what caused Goldport to flood.
Um,
What if the situation is the same here?
when it beings on a level that is incomprehensible to normal mortals class and class for real, like when you guys saw them fight in Goldport, you know that they weren't going all out. If they were going all out, Goldport wouldn't exist anymore. But it when they do go all out with the intent to rend one another from this world, well, the results and effects on the land around them can cause permanent and transformations.
Were they here? Is this the ground that was read about?
This seems to be, from what Nissa and Dobat have read in histories and would have heard, this seems to be the this seems to be the last stand and of Citronus, Citrinus.
Oh, great. Yeah, this looks like the old battlefield where two of the old gods fought.
So,
Exciting.
But
what type of damage would that do with all of that bloodshed on such land, like such an area?
the biggest effect, like, from that war has been this continuing fight between these two city states for the past several hundred years. They have been nonstop fighting with each other.
Well, their
Even
reproduction rate is pretty good then.
even though, well, they like there are times and periods where things will slow down, but something will always happen to spark war again. It's not exactly known what initially caused the rift because these two cities were fighting even before um, the usurped the usurpation of old the older gods.
Do you think
They
that if that's the case and there's intentional bloodshed here, and it's not just because one is mad at the other, but it's because a god needs power, and the only way that they can get power is through blood or lost souls. Because why would you intentionally keep having these particular two cities fight over and over and over again in the exact same place for centuries, unless you just want an upper hand by getting extra energy or whatever the case may be?
there are very few times things where people are guaranteed to reach out and pray. Though it should be an everyday practice, a small thing that you do as part of your everyday life. There are times where you pray harder and louder. Those are times
So,
of great joy or
And great
great
sorrow.
sorrow, of strife and
so
conflict. It- And when you are at your lowest point, there are entities out there that feed off of these wishes and prayers. They maybe it's the gods, or maybe it's something else. Maybe there's something deeper that's fueling this machine that even the current god of this region is not able to squash.
do they want to?
It's not known.
We don't know.
You know that
Let's
they
see.
visited they visited in Nehustan yesterday.
It seems
Um,
like they don't have any desire, and don't have a desire in stopping because they're just going to continue being worshipped and remembered. long enough for them to repopulate the cities after a great battle, a great war, and just enough for them to stock up and save up more energy or more power for later. Question would be who would they be, and is it anybody's responsibility to stop them?
Well,
Is
the
it
other
wrong or
regional
is it right?
gods, the other regional gods should be keeping each
Oh,
other in check.
original gods?
It's regional.
Regional.
Oh, regional. So then what are the regional gods? Because either they're not keeping them in check or they're the ones who are basically doing everything.
Well, whatever's going on here doesn't seem to make this land vulnerable to incursion from another regional god.
Actually, Mana, give me a remembrance check, either wisdom or intelligence, to remember something that
Just
you
straight?
personally witnessed.
Just straight?
Yeah.
16.
You remember during the summit, it, the goddess Iosis, the female goddess that's over the grasslands to the north, she said something to her brother, um, of Zamphosis, is about how quelling regional conflicts and how it was unseemly that there were still infighting in his city states. And he sort of brushed it oop, he sort of brushed it off and sort of changed the subject to other matters.
Okay, so other regional gods look down on the current state, but he seems to have something going on here that he doesn't want to tell them.
Fun.
Because that would mean he's also keeping it from his sister and doesn't want her to know whatever he had, what his deal is here.
I can't right now. Because that is running this game.
So, question. This was the last stand of a god, right?
We can barely hear you, John.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out why it's not picking me up. Sorry. Can you hear me better now?
Yes.
Okay. So, as I was saying, this was the last stand of a god, right? Battlefield, a god had their last stand out, right?
Yeah.
So, if this was a last stand, then they died here. So, theoretically, could their bodies still be around here?
Um, with your with Dobat's check with the 20, Dobat, you would know that the body of Citrinidis was just taken and it is currently sealed somewhere in the capital of this region.
No, it's sealed away.
Exactly for such a possibility of there being a portion of it that could it gather power from the, the area.
Yeah.
You would all know that
It's not the
Citrinidis.
same. Hey,
It,
it's not the same tomb that had all of the scribes and markings and stuff on it that I buried even deeper. Not that one. That's not the same one.
no, that was a priest of Citrinidis is one of their favored third people that was sealed away and in their tomb was being unsealed by the cultist.
So the cultists would be trying to find this tomb, but stocking up on lives, especially if they have the curse mark, they can make a bunch of bodies, a bunch of uninhabited souls that this being could have.
Yeah, if they had Layla's technology, they could make some. They could create bodies without souls, but to your knowledge, no one has Layla's technology except for her. And she hasn't even shared.
Not the technology, but has access to the tomb, has access to Layla's stuff, has a curse mark, and has manipulated the king long enough to keep his son and to trick his son into saying that one guild that didn't do it, or probably didn't do it, kidnapped him, but took off that over that same group of people. So technically he didn't lie.
So,
What would what's his face, the Oni guy, have to do with these cultists?
to your knowledge, nothing. But
He's the only one who's obstructing everything, doing everything. Like he's not a leader, but
He has a
I
lot
don't
of
know.
influence in the
I
region.
I see him so linked to all of this, along with uh the girl who the pirate woman who I just so happen to have a couple of her items of, and who else?
there,
Her and Kevin,
yeah,
all of them.
Kevin seemed to have a connection to cult to these cultists. It's, but
Yeah, but think about where the husk came from. That Kevin had access with the husks in that same little tomb thing that had a central, and he was calling a deity forward. All of the liquid goop was coming from where Kevin was mining and working out of, leading all the way from this desert. And just a bit ago, we were just at another cultist place where we ended up saving the centaur woman, Calliope, whatever her name is. We just saved her, and she was basically drowning in the stuff. And we ended up burying two of the same priestess of this big deity that probably died out here under our feet. Like, that's all linked. But why? That's the how are they all linked? And
We
we're
got
just
to dig a
riding in the
little deeper into
yeah,
into the stuff going on in this region to find that out.
yeah. Okay. Maybe you guys have come to that conclusion way before I did. Sorry. Or that thought process.
I can't remember if we discussed that.
it hasn't really been discussed because
That's just been a
a
thought
couple
on
of
my
people
mind this
have
entire time.
mentioned in how this stuff is everywhere, but yeah, it hasn't really dots haven't really been connected yet because there's not many dots to connect.
Yeah, and I'd say there's a
That's my
lot of missing
I
information.
mean, they're dots of gloop. Think about get a map and mark all the locations where we find these pools of rust blood, water, and husks, and we map it out. Because then we know where to go back to when things get sticky.
Speaking of, you guys will notice that there are husks shambling among the tombs, not in large numbers, not in large groups, Oops, but you'll see them occasionally out there and just wandering, and like you'll note that they'll be wearing certain armor that like looks familiar. It looks like a similar style of armor to Nebu-san, and others will be wearing armor that doesn't quite look the same, in what you would assume is probably the armor of the Argentium.
So, weird question. How long ago did the last stand take place?
The last stand took place about 200 or so years ago.
When we look at the armor, oh, when we look at the armor, is there anything in particular about that armor? So, like, if we see things over a specific time frame, are we able to date it back to 200, or is it just information we know?
Um, there, you would have to like stop a wagon and then like inspect the armor
Actually, study it.
to really know what year, but you can tell that there's definitely some armors that use a little bit more advanced techniques than others.
Yeah.
That there's probably been a steady increase in the potency and amount of the armor here over
I
the
want
years.
some new equipment. That's just a side note, but I want some new equipment. It'd be nice if we found a nice little uh, pile of sand that had some good armor and equipment. But I was asking about the if we noticed the style of the shields or if there was any symbols that we could consider.
You do note some, and with Dobat's expertise, you are easily able to pinpoint the text switch from him, the armor that was a little like over 200 years ago,
Hmm.
and the newer stuff. The older stuff use bronze a lot. There's a lot of bronze and stuff, but newer armors have a little bit of iron and steel both included in them. Um, um, the modern use of steel both as a primary armor source is still relatively new. So most people still have use hard leather and bronze as your standard. Like even the studded leather armor that you guys have in the wagon, it's studded with just bronze rivets, not like iron rivets. So the iron is used, but iron is kept. It, it's kept a little bit it more gradual in its use. Hold
Can you have the kids come open the back door? Not that one, because I don't want the microphone to pick up. I didn't want the microphone to pick up.
I do have a theory of where the river is coming from. Or what it is, at least.
The river only runs underground, right?
Yep.
As we know.
Didn't the river connect to that giant worm tunnel?
Yep.
Go ahead and turn this off.
We've seen it in
Oh,
multiple different
honey, you're not
areas.
watching this one.
on. All right, sorry. Hey, I'm back. What were you saying?
Didn't the river connect to the giant worm tunnel?
Yes, and that led you back to this region. So, there's you guys have heard things like people sort of just generally think that that coppery, iron smelling, rust smelling water comes from this region. Just the water filtering through this battlefield and into the groundwater. That's just sort of the general consensus. So there's there's the thought of it, but no one has like pinpointed like an actual, oh, this is where the water is coming from that's getting filtered through the battlefield and into the groundwater. They just see red sand that smells of rust and blood. They find reddish brown water that smells of rust, and they connect the dots there.
So we're the only ones who has considered this or thought of it right about now.
Sorry. How long has the timer been off? 18 minutes. Sorry. God.
Uh-oh.
Sounds like they're burning something. Or at least Kiari is.
Possibly, yeah.
But my theory is that since this was a battlefield between gods and one was slain here, the blood seeped into the ground.
My thought is
The
that this
witch
might
start
just be...
getting diluted after years and years through being filtered through the sand.
Yeah, my thought process is, oh, hey, look. There's Layla's tomb at the center of all this.
Yeah, but Layla isn't deemed a god. It's someone who wants to be a god or seem
Yeah,
like one.
but a lot of her magic is, at least so far, is blood related.
Yeah, but she could just be one of those other, not exactly per se, a worshiper of this particular one, but one who understands what it does and wants it and knows that she can come here this far to get it. She most likely did enough research because she had time before she died, and probably died on this battlefield, probably heading to this tomb that we're about to go to.
Actually, that's a good question. Can I...
Sorry.
Since I have the level 2, can I sense the direction of Layla's workshop, as it were, where we have all the stuff?
Yeah, it's back. It's back towards the west. Where
Okay, so this is not her tomb. Okay.
You can tell that that's in an extra dimensional space under Goldport. There's no question where that is. It's just the what is the connection to this place that Layla has, and why is it important that you guys get a thing from here?
Well, we'll find out.
And are we truly going to beat the other crew to it?
I mean, is what we want to do? Because I mean, if so, we need to pick up the speed.
So you guys have 3 options. Right now, you guys are just leaving the monitored area of the Nehustan encampment. Basically, the area where they are keeping a close eye out for everything. There aren't going to be really any the regular patrols past this point. So you guys, at a regular rate, it'll take you uh, about 8 hours, like half a day, to get to the location of the tomb. So you would get there like at night. If
But if
you
we,
if you're moving at regular pace, you will the wagon will kick up dust, and you guys will be somewhat visible to any and everything around you.
So
You
it's either
can
we go at a normal pace and we aren't potentially accosted, or we pick up the pace and potentially risk encounters.
if you
well,
if
you're
you
looking at
go
it
at
that way,
a
but
if you go at a fast pace, you will kick up a large cloud of dust and be very visible to things around you. But you can get to the tomb by nightfall.
well, we're still gonna arrive by nightfall, but a
Well,
day sooner.
well, yeah, you would get the essentially it's the difference between getting there at sunset and getting there at like 8 p.m. or midnight, as the case may be.
Okay.
If you go at a slow pace, you will be your most stealthy. Um, nothing, things around you won't notice you as much. You can move somewhat freely, but you won't arrive to the tomb until morning.
Right.
Uh,
Everybody's gonna be arriving to the tomb by morning.
yeah, let's.
But we also don't know because there's a factor that we aren't taking into consideration. Because if we do go faster and we do get accosted, it's not we aren't taking into consideration how long it will take to resolve that.
I mean, how long does a combat encounter generally take?
Well, it depends on how many combat encounters we get into.
I mean,
That also assumes that we have to stay and fight.
yeah, we
'Cause we
could
could
just
just-
keep running.
I'd say if anything
Okay,
comes
yeah,
up
there's
on
always
the front,
other options.
I'd say
outside
we
of just
got
fighting.
we have how many casters in this party, or people with ranged options?
Yeah.
Blast
Yeah, I
them.
say we just bolt for it. Because hopefully we can just outrun anything that comes after us.
Yeah, my vote is
Okay,
get it.
so
It's going.
that's it. But
I say
then you have to consider what time are we arriving? Are we arriving directly at night, like when it's getting nighttime? Or are we arriving after dark? If we arrive after dark, we're not going to have to be on watch too long because it's going to be daytime, and we can kind of cut down on who's all at watch while we break and reset ourselves. Some of us can get some sleep, you know. If we arrive directly at dark,
Yeah,
we can kind of
we don't want anybody being exhausted when we get there.
yeah.
I mean,
But if we
we're gonna-
arrive at dark, so go at a medium pace, then we can scope the area, check out whatever's around, set up whatever traps if we need to set up traps, and then we can set up camp. And then we have more time to sleep, but we have to be on watch a lot longer.
I'm gonna still say let's just get there now. Because it's better to already be in position and then defend it if needed than arrive
Okay.
and oh hey, there's a
So-
fortification.
I
Get there.
The slower
Get-
approach.
What?
He said he wants
What'd
the
you say,
slower
Carrie?
approach. He likes the slower approach. Slower approach.
My thing is, if we can get there undetected, then that means that, or at the very least minimally detected, that means there's a lower chance of us starting a more major conflict. Because if we just get spotted, like if we sprint out there effectively, like go full tilt, it's very likely that the other faction might label us an enemy and try to intercept us actively.
I mean, yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Because
go-
if we're going with people, we have a portion of something that they want, and if we bolt and we have a big huge thing of dust go up in the air and we're seen, they can think that we're leaving with their stuff. What if we split up?
Not an option. We got one cart.
Yeah, but some
We
of
got
us
one
fly.
cart. We got
Some of
one
us
It would.
cart.
fly.
I mean, that would depend on who even wants to split up. And yeah, we only have one cart, so the other party will have to find a way to the other place on their own.
Well, like I said, some of us could fly, and we might be able to arrive sooner on those who fly over those who have to trudge through the sand. Is there a way that we can calculate that?
Sure. How fast do you fly?
But I say I cannot fly fast enough for
That's
that.
it. You need to be
The
what?
wagon moves at about 120 feet per
Yeah.
6 seconds.
So that means with a double move, you would have to have a fly speed base 60, and you would be booking it.
Yeah,
That's-
and the problem comes with exhaustion.
Yeah.
That is probably going to tire you out really
I
bad.
mean,
It
but
is
if it's
best-
not everybody, and if it's not everybody, and if they get there, they will have had time to scope out the place. By the time we arrive, they could rest.
I think
I mean,
can
who here
spend-
has a fly speed of 60?
Oh, I don't know.
I'm about to
What's
say,
been
I don't
a-
think
what's
anyone
been a-
here has a fly speed of
yeah.
60. Maybe you as a druid do when you shapeshift. I don't know.
Oh, that sounds
But
fun.
I don't know level 6 druid's wild shape capabilities.
well, it also depends on how long you can fly for.
Oh, let me get to my.
If you can
let me
only
get to
be
my
wild
computer.
shaped for an hour at a time, that's maybe 3 hours of the travel time that you could be flying.
Okay.
Now, if we
Because
go
Bakari cannot fly that fast, so that's not an option for her at all.
with the
Well,
120
why would-
PS going full tilt,
That's
What
regular
if
pace.
what if there's one that's taking the full speed, the next one's going the middle, while the cart goes slow?
Well, the car is going to travel faster than Bakari, period. Slow or not. Bakari only has a flight speed of 35 feet.
Yeah.
If I remember right. She does not fly fast, but she flies very well. That was the trade-off.
Yeah, so basically, it's either the cart, at the slow speed, the cart will move, I'm going to assume 60.
Yeah.
At the
Slow
fast,
enough that you can ride ride along or walk alongside it
Yeah.
without getting
Yeah.
overtired.
yeah, it's going to be, the slow speed is 60, the base speed is 120, full tilt will be probably 240 or 180.
Alright, Adorable
How about
be able
we-
to turn into things that fly until 8th level.
Mm.
how about this? We'll have 2 teams, one that's combat ready and the other one that's on rest. That's in the combat ready team, we could have somebody who can perform some form of scouting, whether it's flying ahead, such as things that like Bennu could do, or they have some magical means to just basically be consciously checking the area around us for potential threats.
That reminds me, I need to
Then-
look and see if I got spells.
That keeps everybody within range that people can respond quickly if a threat comes, but it also allows people to get some rest or prep done before we get to the tomb.
Let's see
Yeah.
here. And I have my enhancement ability magic for helping with perception.
I say we just go at. We don't need to rush it, but I also don't feel like we need to crawl either. Why don't we just take it at a middling speed? And the best thing I think we could do here is just prepare to come up with the solution to the situation upon arriving, because we're not going to know the situation upon arriving.
Yeah,
Well,
we long rested, right?
that's why he was suggesting that someone who can fly scout ahead, someone
But
who
we
can move
have
faster.
no one that can do that.
Fiance?
Benu,
No, we don't have anyone. I don't think that can fly faster than the cart.
no one can fly faster than the cart, but at a moderate speed, at a slow speed, you can keep up with it and fly high and be able to scout ahead that way.
But we're going at the 120.
But
Well,
say we're
yeah,
going, I was thinking we should go at the regular speed, which is 120.
Which
Well-
At that speed, the only thing that you guys have that can move that fast would be the Dea's drone or ferret. But it can
Yeah.
only do that for a short time. It can't do
Yeah.
that for long
Yeah.
periods.
So
of
if
time.
we
I,
go at
I think maybe once we get closer, maybe we can consider taking somebody out, sending somebody out there. Once we get closer, but I think for now we should just go.
Yeah, 120. Let's go.
I have a idea. I don't know how well it'll work, and I may need some help with it. But
Because
We
if we just
could-
want to head there, and then when we're, not super far from it, but also not super close, where we can stay a little more concealed, we can send a small stealth group ahead, go check out the situation, and they can report back.
But who would be the stealth group? And wouldn't they be the same stealth group that would be with us if we were going slow? Which is what if we do it moderate. I mean,
Yeah, so the idea is we move the 120 moderate speed. We can't fly anything that fast. We get close enough to the camp. We get close enough to the tomb. Once we get close enough, we slow back, dispatch out a team to check it out, give a go, no go.
okay.
Which
Um,
I assume that
what
team
is
would
your-
be Pakari, Nissa, and Benu.
Probably.
Mhm.
do we have anyone that knows enchanting?
I don't
What do
know.
you define as enchanting?
But
You know
what would
exactly
be
what I
that?
define
What would
as
be that
enchanting.
marker then? That would be close enough.
Well, that's
What
just
would
the
be
idea
considered
that
close
she's.
enough?
I just say
Well,
get there.
Yeah.
But-
Oh.
If
Oh,
you're
no
saying
one's listening to me,
what-
guys. Just be quiet for a minute and let me talk, please. Because I was going to say, if we have someone that can enchant, then theoretically we could, because I have Pass Without a Trace, put it on the cart.
Create magic item.
I mean, we have 2 artificers.
I'll say we have 2 artificers.
You got 3 artificers if you include Day.
Alright, Day as an artificer too.
Yes. But theoretically, we could put it on the cart.
Well, so that would be up to Chiante because as doing something like putting Pass Without a Trace on something isn't something you can normally do in the rules.
And
enchant
is
a
it going to
spell
prevent?
effect, you have to spend like a week working thing
Yeah.
on it. It per spell level, and Pass Without Trace is
It's 2nd level spell.
so you would need 2 weeks worth of that time working on it.
Yeah, no.
Well,
So that
mine
wouldn't
is
be something we could do
prepared.
now, but
Give me a percentile, real quick.
My Pass Without a Trace is prepared. for
It's
mine.
more. It's more of you need the time to etch the rooms, modify the cart, get the spell to stick to the cart. Is what John is trying to suggest.
Mm-hmm.
But
No,
I mean, it would be
percentile.
something good to do for later.
Yeah.
I guess I was saying if it was already prepared, then technically the that would have already been taken care of.
John,
Um,
give me a percentile real quick.
Yeah.
what we could do if the card is a valid target, and nothing else changes in the next few minutes, we could at points where we think that we're likely to meet heavy resistance or run into a patrol or something, we can do pass without a
Ooh.
trace, and that'll
Okay.
protect us for that hour.
It rolled a 2.
Let's hope a two's good.
Can you bring me up a bowl of food and my Mountain Dew, Carrie?
Well, I was halfway there. Which one do you want?
Doesn't matter.
It's gone silent.
All right.
Oh,
Waiting on the
okay,
result.
he came back. Well, while he's distracted. Also, we do need to decide who's going to be our front person, and as far as if we do get confronted, if we want to talk or if we want to just punch whoever confronts us in the face.
John, roll me a d4.
You said a D4? Because you kind of cut out there.
Yes,
He did say D4.
Okay. 3.
3.
Three's higher than a 2 or a 1.
Mm-hmm.
Lower than a 4. But the fact that it's a D4 kind of terrifies me.
Why does it terrify you?
Well, it's one of two things. Either this card somehow has charges of something, or he's rolling on a weird encounter / magic item table.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That's all. All right. So
Fine.
you guys are going at moderate pace.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I still think that we should send someone up high.
but no.
Well,
one
you
can
got
keep
somebody,
up.
send them. If you got somebody, send them.
Okay.
Because, and nobody else got anybody to send. That's part of the problem with that idea.
Okay.
Oh, you're gonna send Bendu up.
Well, it doesn't matter. He doesn't fly fast enough, apparently. So it's fine.
I mean, we heard that Dea's Parrot can, so...
35, I think, for him.
I'm trying to look at it. The stat block. Yeah, he has a 30-foot fly speed. He would be able to. He'll be able to keep up with the card as long as it's going to.
Nah,
Well, no, at a moderate.
he's not. Nope.
I mean, you could tie him to the cart with the string, and he could just fly along like a kite.
Until the string breaks or he breaks.
He's
Poor
made out of
guy.
fire.
It's bedtime.
Well, he
More
has
likely
some
to
kind of
burn
physical
it.
body. Yeah. That's the thing, is like, those kind of speeds are like dragons. You would need to get to, like, I think medium dragonish territory.
Yeah, but that's also why it's hard to run away from dragons.
What
Yeah.
if so with him flying, I wouldn't be able to do an ability check on that? A
No,
guidance?
no, it is a base speed. The
With-
most you could do is with haste, but that would double it to 60. We're still moving double his speed.
Okay.
Well, you wouldn't need to use haste. You have things like what's it called that make your movement speed higher?
Long Strider.
Expeditious retreat.
Either of those.
Both of them at the same time.
Yeah, it's just
You
it's
would
still
need
it's
different
what.
people to do it.
Yeah, this
Okay,
is just a.
I'm
This
off of
just,
it.
yeah. It's just a thing of raw numbers here, unfortunately, and there's not a
Oh.
lot you can do.
Alright then. You guys travel at a moderate pace.
Who's driving?
Dea is currently driving. She's still in her red hair form. So she's driving, and
Somebody should check on
you
her.
guys are
If she's in
keeping-
her red
I'm
hair
guessing
form,
you guys,
means so.
guys are keeping a lookout, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
If we are keeping just one person on the lookout, I will do an enhance ability on them. Otherwise, I'm assuming we're all awake for now.
Alright. Hikari is working on nobody's armor or outfit. right?
Pakari's actually going to be working on 3 things
3 things? Okay.
during this time. Yeah, it's going to be nobody's armor because I'm infusing that. I'm also going to be infusing a ring, and I'm going to be making me a little mechanical homunculus
Okay.
for my last infusion.
Yeah, it's simple enough. I think this is. Yeah, the ride is pretty smooth because of the makeup of the wagon. The car is pretty skilled at this, so there's no issues, nothing comes up. You're able to do all your prep and everything that you need to do. Nobody is currently studying all the runes and enchantments on the Ebonheart wood body that they're currently examining. They're taking like all the decorative bits off just to see what the base of this puppet is.
Need to do a roll?
I'll have him do a roll. I'll have him do a roll when he comes back. It'll be an Arcana check. I'll have him do that later.
Let's see. I'm not good enough to be the real thing.
Mhm.
It's about sunset when Dobat and Pakari and Nissa, give me a perception check.
Fuck, it's perception. There it is. Damn, that's a nat 1. I'm too busy in my work. Don't bother me.
22.
$17.
Nissa, you hear it's like the lightest, this sharpest little screeching noise off in the distance. And Delbat, you're able to pinpoint that it's coming from above you.
I'm looking up.
You look
Eldritch
up,
Blast ready.
You see about 12 figures. There's flying through the air on what appears to be giant bats.
Do they appear to be coming at us, away from us, or?
They don't seem to be heading in your direction, but that you know that if you guys continue to, to like moving at this pace, you're likely to be spotted.
Okay, so can we slow up, let them pass, and then move back up to speed?
You can ask Dea.
He'll point them out. So basically, he's gonna point them out to Dea. Dea, a couple flyers up in the air. They don't look to be coming at us, but I think we could slow up for just a little bit.
We don't have to slow up. I can just do this. She's gonna reach down beside the seat and she's gonna pull something, and the noise of the mechanical horse, the noise of the wagon, and all sort of deaden, and you see the trail of dust. That's even the wheel marks in the sand disappear.
Did she just mechanical cast without a trace us?
That's what John's roll was for.
Did she just do that? And that's part of the cart?
Yes, the roll was to see if she would have possibly thought of adding a stealth mode to the wagon.
And it had 3 charges, I'm guessing.
Yeah. So you guys are currently keep pass without trace for an hour.
Okay.
But the problem is you see those bats land and are heading towards the forest area, and that they are most likely going to be camping somewhere around where you guys are heading.
I'm assuming they're too far away for us to do anything about it.
Yeah, they're pretty far away, and with the sun setting, it's really hard to get an accurate judge of distance.
Guys, we may have a little problem when we get there.
Can we just not like camp too close to them, but just enough where we can see them?
Well, it depends on if they're going to be close to the tomb.
Well,
We do
deal
have-
with
They Soren's group or another group.
Oh, sorry.
Will we be out of our paths without a trace when we arrive? Well, would we have run out of time?
Keontae?
I'm sorry, I was talking to Journey. What?
In our paths without a trace, when we arrive to the tomb, will we have run out of time?
Even with you guys are about, well, you guys are about 4 or 5 hours into your trek. You don't have enough charges to get there entirely, but you would definitely be able to at least make it to the forest edge with it on if you use all 3 charges.
What? But they appear to be going away from us at this point, kind of.
A benefit we do have when it comes to camping is that we don't have to. We don't need a campfire.
True, because of the extra space.
The wagon has.
Yeah, there's quite a lot. As long as we don't light up anything in the cart that will cast light, we can effectively camp out quietly.
Okay. But do they appear to be kind of going away from us at this point?
with the backdrop of the sunset, it's hard to tell. Well, you know they are in front of you currently, but you can't really tell if they're in front of you heading towards, like, at an angle that would put them closer to you or further away. It's hard to really get a gauge because they're silhouetted against the sky.
Okay. Then let me ask this. Dea, is this one of those things that recharges every night, or do we have to manually charge it?
What it recharges one time per day. One charge per day.
Okay.
So in the daytime, when it becomes morning, she'll be able to charge it again.
One charge. It's one of those things of it can hold 4 charges, and it gains 1 charge every dawn.
Yeah. So we'll be arriving at dawn.
We'll be arriving at dusk.
You guys will make it to the forest edge right after the sunset. So yeah, I guess that would be dusk-ish.
Yeah,
you will be able to get to where the tomb is around midnight.
Okay, so we could burn all 3 charges, and we'll have 1 charge for the return journey.
No,
Well, it depends on how many days we're stuck there in the tomb as well.
What'd you say, John?
I said it also depends on how many days we're stuck in the tomb.
Oh, that is true.
We could have more charges, because we don't know how the time progresses in the tomb yet.
Well,
Okay.
I assume Deo would need some charges for getting back, because I assume she wasn't waiting on us.
Well, going back, she can probably take the slow route. We're pushing her. We're asking her to go, hey, can you take us speedy? So, I mean, it's up to her if she wants to pull the others, but I guess we'll wait and see. I'm going to keep an eye on them and see if it looks like I'm just going to try to tell over time while the pass without a trace is active if they look like they can potentially see us. If it looks like they're not going to be able to detect us, I won't ask her to re-up it. If it looks like they may have still a chance to see it, I'll ask her to re-up it.
I'd also say, since we're already having pass without a trace going on, we might as well pick up the pace as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Get us past and around them faster.
Would that be reasonable, Keontae?
Yes, that would be reasonable.
Alright, well, then yeah. If I'd known you had this, I probably would have said we should get there a little faster if you can push it.
She will push the speed and you guys will arrive at a ridge line overlooking the valley that the forest is in. At the time that you arrive at the ridge line, you'll see that those bat riders have landed right in the middle of the area between the valley and the forest, and you'll watch as they erect several stone walls around their position, sort of encapsulating their bats and themselves. And
I cast Quick Fort.
They cover their little domes with the sand from around the area. Probably some combination of mold earth and like catapult to try and cover it with sand and make these little cuts that like if you weren't watching them do this, they would basically disappear in the sand dunes.
Do you think that's Zoran's group?
No, he wouldn't wait.
He would have gone into the forest. That looks like a scouting party for one of the 2 factions.
Well, considering the Zoran can't come out here himself, it could still be part of his group.
Again, he probably would have pushed them to the tomb. They're setting up almost like a mini fortress and camping out more in the open.
Yeah,
Technically,
that's
technically,
military.
Still, even if it was part of his group, they would still have to wait because technically none of them could open the tomb since he's the one with the curse mark.
Yeah. We'll see. My money is on this is one of the military scouting parties. It's not Zoran's crew. Either way, they are not remaining in the forest, so we should be okay for now.
Here's my question. You have not seen Bat Riders working for Nehustan's army. You can make a safe assumption that these are most likely some outside force, either Argentium or they are um, potentially like mercenaries or people that are just out here, bandits or the like. You have the option of trying to get supplies or the like through dealing with them, get information, or you can simply try and go around them and not be noticed by them.
I'd say let's not deal with them. Let's not risk it.
Mm-hmm.
But do we have a good amount of money?
Yeah.
I'm rich.
If they do
It's at my
that,
200 platinum.
yeah, there are certain party members that don't need that could retire if they wanted to, but they're in it for the love of the game, apparently.
Well, I had an idea because John brings up a good point that it could be Zoran's faction, but based on the things that they could be, if they're mercenaries or even just people like scavengers, we could probably pay them to be on the lookout for that group and give us a sign if they show up.
We also have 500 platinum and almost 2,500 gold in the cart.
Hi, Uncle Tiago.
Hey, Journey. But that would give us a leg up if they do try to make this trip in the next few days. Because we can probably hire most mercenary groups for, what, 50 to 100 gold?
I don't think I would want to hire a mercenary kind of group.
And they could also give us information about the land if they're freelance. And if they're a military faction, we can try to ingratiate ourselves to them so that they stay out of our way. In fact, we could spin it because we do know Zoran's faction is definitely connected to Nazi Argentines. So if it's them, we could say, hey, we're letting them know about these people who are trying to sneak in. Hopefully it's not them, though, because I'm a lot less confident in that plan.
I still say let's not even risk letting them know we exist.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of side on the side of not kicking that bear as well, because they obviously covered their base to hide it for a reason, and if we walk up there and go, hi, after they just tried to hide their base, they're going to be like very on edge.
Yeah.
I mean, we just sit back and watch what they do while also planning. They don't know that we're here.
Yep.
But we can just go around them and move on to the tomb.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
I've been outvoted
Um,
because you democracy.
you guys may use one more charge to stealthily go around them towards it, to the edge of the forest. As you guys are going around them, Zobat, Nissa, Hikari, me, you guys pick up like the occasional little, like sonic ping, and like you can see that something they're shooting something up into the air.
I think they probably know our location from echolocation, guys. I think they just pinged us.
Well, if we have pass, maybe not. We'll have to see.
What about Bennu? Well, no, Bennu's not out there. Never mind.
I don't think Pass Without Trace can conceal.
Pass without trace only gets rid of the evidence that you were there. Essentially, it will stop you from leaving footprints, smells, those
A
scents,
cloud of
any.
dust.
Yeah, location would definitely bounce back.
Yeah. But of course, that depends on if they see us as a problem, which we're moving away from them, so I doubt.
Well, considering they just fired something up into the air, possibly.
It seems
Can-
that the whatever they're shooting up into the air is the thing that's making the noise.
Okay, so they're making a simple.
Radar.
Yeah, they're making rudimentary radar.
And I guess we probably should have assumed because they're doing a whole bad thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
So again, they'll see a cart moving away from them and kind of just probably let it go.
Well, that
Let it
depends on
go.
their allegiances.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, well, let's see. Are they doing anything now that we can sense this ping?
You don't notice them do anything before you guys get to the tree line. At which point you would assume that it'll be impossible for them to track.
Oh, so yeah. So basically, we caught that ping right as we got into cover. Basically. So yeah, we should be fine, because they catch a cart at the edge of a forest, and then the cart is just gone. They can't really track us anymore.
Now on the way back, on the other hand.
Well, on the way back, we could have a little fun.
Mm-mm.
But on the way
But-
back, they might be more prepared.
Or gone.
Either
Give
or.
me- Who? What skill would that be? Give me an insight. Like two people. Give me an insight.
I have a 5. Anyone got higher?
I'm about to say, I'm pretty sure I have a pretty good insight. Nope,
I've got a
I have a
6.
4.
Mine's
I
loading.
have a 4, so somebody's better.
I will gladly do it, but I only have a 1.
Hold on.
Um,
6.
It's
Oh,
loading.
then Nissa do it. Nissa's a 6.
So far, myself and Nessa.
And you two.
Insight. 18.
Oh, come on.
Alright. So bad. From this is like it makes sense. You've read about battle tactics and that happened in wars in your history book. Like, essentially, they're making a map. They're trying to. They're scouting out the battlefield ahead of time.
Okay, then yeah, as long as we're not. Yeah, so go back think for a second. Yeah, no, they're mapping the battlefield. As long as we don't actively antagonize them, we should be fine.
Well,
Well,
yeah,
actually,
does that
that
mean
worried me
that
more.
yeah, because then
You
it might be
guys
a
would-
battlefield when we come back through.
You guys know that this isn't an area that Kareem said is like Kareem specifically told you this part of the the battlefield shouldn't be being used at this time, and that her uncle's those troops are would be the closest to this battlefield. Should you know, like there be an attack or something that comes from this direction.
Oh. Yeah, so that's another problem that'll probably need to be dealt with. We don't have a way to contact Terrain, do we?
Currently, no.
Unless I decide to take a gamble.
No, didn't they? It seemed like somebody gave us a communication stone.
I have a sending stone from Zoran.
Other. Oh. Am I just
I
talking in
know,
the
but I
wind?
wanted to say that.
Yeah, we haven't heard you.
I said we haven't heard you say anything.
Oh. Didn't her brother give us something that if we needed to get in touch with Kareem
Yeah,
or him?
he gave you it's a paired scroll that's tied to him. If you write on the scroll, the words will appear on his scroll.
Oh. Okay, so
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
okay, yeah, I didn't know about that one.
Yep.
So you may want to say scouts on this area.
Hopefully, sonar doesn't allow them to
This
intercept
method of
transmission.
communication is entirely predicated on help checking it. So
What?
this method of communication is entirely predicated on him actually checking that scroll.
We're having a hard time
Deontay,
hearing
you're
you.
breaking up really bad.
Sorry, I forgot this mic is a lot more directional. So
Then-
this method of communication is predicated on him looking at the scroll. So you can send the message and hope that he just so happens look at that scroll. Oh,
So, well, he might. So why not? Why not at least try that? Especially when he knows that his sister is. Just wash it out. Put peroxide if you can find it. His sister is on the battlefield, so he most likely will be looking at it. He'd be worried about her. They have a connection, so why not?
And plus, his uncle is the closest one in the area.
Yeah, so that they can keep an eye out on the situation.
right. You send the message.
Mhm.
I will make a roll on my own. And I'll see. Okay. All right. with that, uh, you guys have entered the forest.
What in the forest?
You have you have
We've entered.
entered the forest.
Okay. I think the music is what's really blocking you off.
All right, no music.
I was say I haven't heard it.
I have the entire time. Every time he says something.
Yeah, I've heard it every time he's talked.
Yep.
Oh, I
okay.
just turned the music down, so it's not very hot.
Well, no, it's coming through his mic.
Yeah, through his mic, and it's making him blocky. So
Yeah.
anybody who has
Oh
their
yeah,
music,
you weren't here for that earlier discussion. He's actually playing the music through his setup through his mic, effectively.
All right,
Ah,
can you guys? How's it now?
Much better.
Yeah, that's better.
All right, so
awful. What is that?
What is that buzzing?
Yeah, I don't know what you did.
I just turned the music off.
Yeah,
Sounds
but
like a
now
fan or
it's like
something
an
going
open
now.
mic or an open. It's a
Prob-
high pitched.
it's probably because it's still plugged into the. If I do that, then it'll probably stop.
No,
No.
no.
Still got it.
I
And it's getting louder.
turn the music back on if it's gonna just do that. And geez,
He thinks you need to do some testing.
Well, I did testing, but it was mostly on my own.
oh, sorry.
And it's fine. It's new stuff. I'll adjust things as needed. Just turn it down, and hopefully everything will be good. All right. So the forest is filled with these. What are they called?
Welcome to the Blood Jungle 2.0.
Blood Jungle calls for thee.
you could
It'll
never
be even
leave
worse
it.
for me because I'm the only player. Well, no, because I don't think Sarah or Alexa in it. Well, I'm the only character who's been in the campaigns with the Blood Jungle, but has never been in the Blood Jungle.
All right.
All right, you left before.
So the ground is still very sandy and rocky. There's not really much of an underbrush to this forest, and it's a large standing of birch trees, all covered in these black knots where branches used to be that resemble eyes. So
Uh,
no matter how you move, it's like thousands of eyes are following you.
Nobody have you been here before?
No,
The
but it's rather curious.
um Mana, you would know that the blood jungle that you're from also has a similar type of tree, like the birch trees, but the bark is like red, like a deep red color, and the leaves are white.
So this Blood Jungle 2.0.
Um, it does this. These trees are a lot more normal looking.
The Blood Jungle then is probably a corrupted version of this of a region like this.
Fun.
Well, take heart. That means this place is far less deadly.
Compared to what I have heard as one of the most deadly places on the entire planet.
You get used to it.
As you travel in, that rust smell that had all but disappeared when you entered the forest comes back even stronger and more piercing to your nostrils. Like you just got a
Ah,
whiff of, of some high a high percentage alcohol or a very strong bone clean bleach and just stings your nose.
oh, okay.
And as the wagon comes to a halt, you stand in front of a stream of the water heading deeper into the forest.
Oh, great.
Red water?
There's
Yes,
the red water.
but it's
Mhm.
moving very slowly, like unnaturally slowly.
Mm, don't like that.
Um, your curse marks are pulling you towards the direction of the water,
Oh, did I hit the nail on the head?
and as you traverse deeper into the jungle, you come across a very large sandy clearing, and at the base of that clearing is what appears to be the remains of some long forgotten temple, a place of worship to some unknown entity.
I assume I can't tell what that entity might be.
Not from the out, not from the onset, but
Oh no.
Um, is there anything recognizable about this architecture?
the
Like, does
architecture reminds you greatly of other ancient and desert sites like the Grand Cathedral that you guys visited recently. It seems to be in like from what you can tell. Oh, this is culturally the elven in build with a touch of of high human influence.
hmm,
On the like seeing any amount of high human influence is skin crawling to whom you and nobody.
a pet?
Yes.
Right. These are probably fairly unusual ruins. You probably do well for your research to take down as many notes as you can.
Um, for your part,
Well,
though,
you,
that you can definitely tell is like this is post Age of Gods, definitely. The and from your knowledge, this will probably be have been created by um the the Nebonese people, the original home inhabitants of this region. Um, it was said that before the Age of Gods they were sea elves, but when the land dried up, they adapted to swim in the sand as and these elves built these great temples and structures and were all but all powerful in the region. And
Yeah, you don't have to tell me twice. It's post Age of Gods, probably the original Nebonese people.
the thing that both of you who would know is that the Lebanese were uh, very heavy in the worship of Apophis, the Lord of Oblivion,
Lord of what?
the Lord of Oblivion, one of the 10 lords.
Mm,
He was known as the Sun Eater, the Eclipse Maker, the
so
one
this could
who
be a
ate
temple to
all knowledge
Apophis.
and caused it to become void.
So this could be an Apophis temple or something close to. Huh. We'll have to see.
Yeah, it might be good for us to take a moment here before continuing onward.
Agreed.
You guys set up a sort of makeshift camp of some kind to sort of get
We set up the stealth camp.
your bearings and sort of see what's here and guess sort of assess things. The biggest thing is looking down into the valley and looking at some of the pillars and structures around the the edge of this pit. You can tell that this sand was brought here purposefully, like something moved this sand here because it's not naturally occurring. Else, it was created through some unknown magic.
This gets more and more fun.
The
Any idea?
second thing is you can tell that there's about 8 streams of this red water that all will they'll like go down into this to this crater and converge at the center where there's a large pool just outside the entrance with a bridge going across it.
So my question, so all the streams converge here.
Yes.
So there is the next question. This obviously hasn't filled to the point of overflowing, and there's no outlet that we can see. What's using the water?
Well, who's to say the water doesn't flow from here?
Well, there's no. So far we can't see anything. Everything goes down below at this point. As far as we can tell, all the streams that we have seen pointed here. So I wonder if there's a ritual going on.
What does Adarapi's face look like as he comes comes to this conclusion?
There's like a mixture of that's what I was saying before, and well, there's obviously something going on here.
I think it sounds like duh.
Does Dobat know of any kind of those rituals that would be done to Apophis from his knowledge?
of the 10 lords, Apophis isn't really talked about in the same team. Like he's not really talked about in the same vein, and he sort of, uh, when the 10 lords took over, him and Ariman sort of split this continent, and and when they were defeated, it it's kind of it's unknown what happened to them. Like the legend goes that he was hurled into the sky and became a wandering star, but no one really knows. And worship of him as a deity, he was greatly encouraged by him towards his powers, though he never attained true godhood.
So I'm not aware of any rituals from that time that would use what looks to be a river of pseudo blood.
Mm,
Lovely.
not that you know.
Because that's just what I'm going to call it at this point. I don't know of any of the rituals of the Ten Lords that would use this kind of stuff, though. That's the fun part. We will have to see. For now, it is best we rest. For the
Right.
fun begins soon.
Is there anything here that's familiar to you culturally?
Do I know of anything?
I was asking Picari.
Oh,
I don't know. Is there anything?
The markings, Bakari, as you've gotten deeper into this forest, you've noticed the smell itself has stopped bothering you. You're not sure why, but the smell itself has stopped bothering you. And as you look at the markings on the temple, it sort of reminds you of the robes that some of the like, like the higher ups in your village would wear, like like religious or like political figures had robes that would have similar markings. So you would assume that there's probably a similar kind of temple near where you near where your village is that inspired such markings. You don't think that your people will worship as one of the 10 lords. It doesn't seem you. It doesn't seem to like really match the cultural practices that you guys is do. But that you can tell that like there certainly is some cultural inspiration that your people took from the whatever culture created this.
There might have been some minor influence. The robes look oddly familiar. Temple might look similar in possible design as well, but it all depends.
It was just a curiosity. And your people seem to have obtained various is, items from ages past. I was curious if there was some connecting in culture to the surface.
Honestly, couldn't tell you. All that stuff has been there longer than my people's history has been recorded in our records. So, as far as I know, that stuff's always been there, but I was never the religious sort, I guess you could say, unlike the others. So honestly, didn't pay that stuff much mind until recently.
Fair.
But there's a possibility I could navigate their temple depending on its similarities. Just because I've seen ones like it.
If that turns out to be true, that would be most helpful.
Um, is there a particular thing King Picari would pick up on, would remember culturally from her period, like maybe an item, an object, or from like a person that she would most associate with with this practice, this bar, like the use of these symbols and patterns.
I'm not sure I'm understanding the question.
Like, is there a person that Picari could think of that she would most associate with it, the connecting these ideas of this temple and the things that she's seen around her village?
Like the historical stuff?
Yes.
Um, I guess it would be, I don't know, maybe like a higher priest or something from her people that would have taught her history, the cultural history, because their religious stuff with the artifacts is tied heavily into their historical culture, because their entire civilization was built around it. So I guess whatever higher, like a priest or some higher person in her colony, I guess she would associate a lot of that with them, just because it's where she would have learned it from for the most part, like a teacher of sorts,
Like a
if that's what you mean.
yeah, I got you.
I'm not sure if I understand the question correctly,
Yeah.
but I assumed you were asking like maybe who taught her or something like that.
You would think back to the way that person, like you would think back, maybe you were a young child. You're more always more interested in, you know. So I would assume Picard was more interested in making stuff rather than
You're
teaching.
cutting out.
But I would assume that Picard would have been more interested in like making stuff rather than in just learning in all the historical stuff. Like
Yeah, she was more interested in making trouble and taking things apart.
so,
So,
um, like while while you were looking at like one of the priests taking like one of these special religious looms apart that they use to weave the fabric for their special robes, you like vaguely remember um, the like this high priest, this orator, this teacher person in describing in the meanings and how to derive meanings from the patterns. Don't build all your things. Don't build all your things. And you would be able to like just looking at like pillar or a column near like this near where you guys are resting, and you could probably get an idea of how what sort of what sort of practices people probably be perform that could be derived from that made up that religious side of your culture.
The similarities,
Yes.
I assume is what you mean. Okay.
With that, eh, would you guys, after a short rest, would you guys head down into the crater, or would you wait until the morning when you have some more light?
I think we have enough ways to make our own light.
All right. So as you guys descend into the crater under the moonlight, well, the moon's light, because there's this time here there's like four in the sky right now. You guys, hey, we'll go ahead and end it there. Here, as you guys walk towards the front of the temple and towards the bridge.
Alright. What kind of abominations are we gonna find?
Maybe it'll be really nice.
10,000 husks are waiting at the bridge. You have to the marble hallway fight your way the down the bridge to get to the front of the temple.
Oh, thank goodness, it's only 10,000.
They're all
I'm
in a line.
setting fire.
Well, the bridge is kind of our way across.
Yep. Still.
Hey, y'all don't want to take a swim in the unknown substance?
I can't hear you, John.
He said, "Do you want to take a swim in the unknown substance?"
I honestly had the thought of just dipping my hand with the curse mark into the pool and seeing what would happen.
Do it.
It could be
Or-
your doom.
Okay, I've got another character pretty much ready to go.
I mean, you're undead, and we've seen that it powers up undead, so it'd probably actually be pretty
Oh yeah, I
beneficial for
am
you.
undead right now.
Probably be pretty beneficial, actually.
I'll test that theory next time.
Because we've seen that it shows that it levels up undead, in a way.
Us seem to like it.
Yep. It makes them more alive-ish.
They become rehydrated.
They feel joy for the first time.
I assume they don't just become rehydrated if you just pour water on them.
Hydrated with
Wait,
blood.
That silence
is
is
that-
deafening.
You guys
Blood is
actually
thicker
haven't
than water.
really investigated it like that phenomenon too much. You just know that when the husks drink the blood water stuff they get they aren't husk anymore. They're filled with the substance and they're stronger.
Mm-hmm. We just took some samples and we haven't really tested them yet.
Yeah, I'll test that theory in a couple weeks.
All right, we'll see what happens next time.
And since we are here, I'm
Dragon
gonna
Ball
make
Z.
sure I finish up
With
preparations
Seth
of
playing
my.
Apophis.
Yeah, that sounds
Hi.
about right.
And
I can't believe you've put me in charge of. You got me with Creature of Poetry the first time, and now Apophis? It's a fucking roster, man.
He wants you to be able to smite people.
Mm-hmm. Yep.